Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Month to you. This is the beginning of the second half of the exciting year 2020. I hope we are keeping safe in the midst of this COVID-19. All right, we are trying our best from our end to be able to cope and, of course, to overcome this pandemic challenge. So, you're welcome to the program. My name is Shehu Zubairu, and we have something very interesting to share with you, and it is called the new era of presentation. COVID-19 has completely changed the landscape of how we do things in life and, of course, in business. And one of those things is the way we make presentations. Presentations have been effectively done for some of us in person. However, it is a completely different ballgame when we are making presentation online. Some of us are extremely nervous when we have to make presentation online. Then you're in the right place. Right? One of the things we're going to be talking about this morning is how to make effective presentations online or on virtual platforms. Handling the session is no other person than the partner in charge of learning and development. Her name is Adetutu Shongonuga. Tutu is partner in charge of learning and development in human capital partners. He's a certified master ATD trainer, certified MBTI professional. She's also a certified conversational intelligence coach. Now, she's going to be taking us through some secrets that are required for us to make effective presentations online and why you need to acquire the skill as quickly as possible. The world is not waiting for anyone. Before we gradually slide into irrelevance, it is important for us to quickly acquire skill to keep us the ball continually. Now, I will just welcome Tutu to the stage while she takes. Tutu, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome.
Welcome to the session. Welcome to the session. All right. Our audience are there. They're already listening. And I have given a wonderful introduction of my partner in charge of learning and development. We have 17 people currently viewing from YouTube, and we have 2 people for now from Facebook. So we'll just jump into the presentation. I will stop the screen share from my end so you can share your screen with us.
Great. Thank you, Shehu.
Thank you.
All right. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, but I can see my screen.
Okay.
Okay, so can you still see it?
Okay. Screen coming on live. Yes, we can see. Can you put it on slide mode?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Okay.
Here
So
we are.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Adetutu Shongonuga with Human Capital Partners, and I'm just going to jump right in. We have limited time, so I want to really get right into it. Today, we're going to be talking about making presentations virtually and being effective. You know, Shehu rightly set the context. The whole world has gone virtual. All of us are learning how to be tech savvy, as it were, whether you are into it or not. Right now, that's where we are all living. And so we thought it would be good to really bring an offering where we can really help people to harness their skill in that area. And so really our objective for today is to really help us learn how to make effective virtual presentations. Because I can promise you that the fact that we're able to make it in person doesn't mean that we're going to be able to make it online as well. They're completely different worlds. And so for our outline, we'll go through the introduction. Why do we need to build this new skill? And what are the questions you must answer to be able to present effectively? Um, so right now, just to flash some statistics, digital around the world, we've moved to 7.75 billion people the world over. That's a lot of people. And of that, we have 5.19 unique mobile phone users. People who can just at the click of a button, they can go online, 5.1 billion. People who log into the internet, 4.54 billion. And then active social media users, 3.8 billion people. That tells us that we are living in a digital age. That tells us that, even though there is a population we call that, but really and truly, we are all digital natives. We are all learning how to navigate this new world. And so that really is the reason why, as professionals, as entrepreneurs, as social media influencers, whatever it is we are doing, it's really key for us to be able to plug into the virtual world, as it were. We live in a VUCA world. Things are changing fast. I was reading an article the other day, and it talked about how it took 30 years to produce a certain level of information, and then that same amount of information, something in the realm of trillions of gigabytes, was made or provided or manufactured within about a year or two. So information is coming at people a lot. We are living in very volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous times. There's really no playbook for now. We are all living, we are really in a very interesting time in history where we are all living the same experience. It used to be that a certain part of the world was going through something, and in a certain part of the world something else. But right now we are all living the COVID experience. We are all living in the pandemic era, and things are changing, and everybody needs to be able to adapt to that change. Darwin said it's not the strongest or the fittest, but the species most adaptable to change that survives. And so if we really want to survive, and not just survive, but thrive, we must learn how to really adapt to the new reality. And one of those realities is that being able to make effective virtual presentations is so critical to each and every one of us now, wherever we find ourselves. And so really, it means we are going to be making more and more of these presentations. It means we need to be able to set, and we must be able to set ourselves up for success. We must be able to, whether it's in person or online, we must be able to deliver. We must be able to learn the dynamics of being able to engage with our clients, with our audience, with our customers, wherever they are. And what this really means is now you have a global stage. Now you are not just for those of us who are entrepreneurs, now you are not just limited to your brick and mortar customers who walk into your door. Now you can also reach people anywhere in the world. I'm sure you've been going on YouTube, you've been going on different sites, and you see adverts from people all over. That is going to be more and more the norm. People are more at home, and all of us, or most of us, are working from home on some level. And so you want to be able to really plug into that and see what is available for you. Our note of caveat is really that everything that happens on the online space is amplified, whether good or bad. And so we want to make sure that we set ourselves up for success. We want to make sure that we give ourselves every chance of succeeding. So we'd like to just provide some value. Shehu, I hope everyone is still hearing me loud and clear. Let me just do a quick check-in.
Tutu, we can hear you loud and clear.
Fantastic. What are some critical questions that we need to answer, before giving your presentation, before pressing that button, before inviting everyone into your room, because it's your room, you own that room. So what are the questions that you need to have clarified? You need to have written down the answers. You need to have, mastered to be able to really provide value for who you are speaking with. Because because at any point in time, you're always talking to the one person, and that is how, if we're trying to talk to everyone, we may lose it. But if you pick that one person and you are talking to them, that really gives you a clarity of thought as to who you should be talking to. I remember reading something from Warren Buffett. He penned loads and loads of letters to his shareholders. And he said whenever he's writing those letters, he thinks of his sister, who's really not a financial person, who's not even a corporate person per se, and he thinks of her and he writes his letter to her. Just one person. And what does that do? It helps him to really concentrate and to become laser-like in his concentration of information. It's not too complex, it's not too simple. It's as simple as it needs to be, but no simpler. So we're not dumbing it down for people. So here are questions that we need to answer if you really want to dominate, if you really want to make the impact that you want, especially online. People are scrolling. What is it you're going to be saying that will make them stop the scroll and listen? So the first question is, why am I presenting? Is it to educate them? Is it to bring some much needed information, or information that is so hidden that only an expert like you can bring it out? Is it to persuade, to inform, to sell value, to show them the need, why they need to buy into something? Is it to inspire? Is it to motivate them? Why are you presenting? You need to be clear, because you can take the same topic and you can come at it from so many different angles based on why it is you're making that presentation. What subject do I want to present on? There's so many subjects. Why did we pick this subject today? Well, first of all, we are very knowledgeable in it. This is one of the programs we run again and again and again, and we get tons of fantastic feedback from our clients. People who came into the presentation and we couldn't even hear them speak, and by the time we're done, the whole room can hear them and they're like, wow, I didn't know that was possible. I had a gentleman once said, Tutu, whenever I am called on to even speak, to even ask a question, I'm covered in sweat, my hands are trembling, my palms are sweaty. And he came through this program, and now he's presenting, now he's looking for opportunities. That is the kind of impact that being, just knowing your stuff can do for you. And that is why we picked this. We are fantastic. We have deep knowledge when it comes to presentation skills. But guess what? It's not just that we are knowledgeable, we're also passionate about it. And there is a need for this. So that is the sweet spot for what it is you need to be presenting to your audience. Yes? That is the topic you need to be presenting to them. You are knowledgeable about it. If somebody wakes you up at 3 a.m. to say, come talk about this thing with me, you are able to do a 10-minute riff without even opening your book, without opening any notes. That's how knowledgeable and passionate you are about it. But also that the audience really wants to know, what it is you are offering them. I mean, if you've heard of the Ikigai concept, is the sweet spot, where you know about it, but also people are willing to pay for that value. That is where you want to be playing in. That is the topic of your presentation. And, at the end of this, when I take you through this, I'm going to be making an offer. So I hope you do stick around to the end so that you can see what value we can add on this program. I'm very excited about it. Who am I presenting to? Who's my audience? Who are they? Where are they? What do they do? What language do they speak? You must be very clear on your target audience. You must enter into the conversation that is already happening in their mind, so that by the time you are talking to them, by the time you are, making your presentation, by the time you are making your offer, all of that is really, it's as though, wow, Tutu has been reading my diary. Tutu was in a room where I was. When did I meet with Tutu? When did I meet with Demi? When did I talk to Tola? That is how your audience should feel. So we're going to be taking you through, who am I presenting to? That's something you should be thinking of. Who is my audience? You need to profile your audience. Know who it is you are talking to, because you can't talk to everyone. You have to go narrow and you have to go deep. Who am I talking to? They say if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. We don't want to be talking to no one. We want to be very clear, very specific, very niche in who we're speaking to. How do I capture their attention online? Research them. If possible, engage them before your presentation. If not the real people, look-alike people. Find people who are like the people you want to talk to and engage them in conversation. Find out what it is they want, what they need. you know I think it was Steve Jobs who said people really don't know what they need. They know what they want, but they don't know what they need. So as someone who's making a presentation, you want to be able to sell them what they want, but also give them what they need. And part of doing that is to be able to profile them, to research them, and to appeal to their senses when you do come online, their sense of hearing, their sense of, visually, kinesthetic. How do they like to learn? How do they take in information? How do they make decisions? All of this we are going to be talking about. And of course, how do you sustain people's attention online? If you're really speaking their language, people will listen. You are here for a reason. It's not by accident, it's not by chance that you came to this live stream. There's a reason you are here. Something resonated with you when you saw the topic. And so when you really resonate, when you find your target audience, you really want to make sure that you respect them by preparing for them, by being brief and going straight to the point. You remember that was what I said when I came on. I want to go straight to the point. I know everyone is busy. Everyone really has a lot. We are all still grappling with this whole work from home, so we want to make sure that we are giving lots of value in as short time as possible. Get your audience involved. So as we go on, I hope you are putting your questions in the chat. Who is going to be calling them and giving them to me as we go along. Get them involved. Ask them questions. If possible, you might even be able to do some verbal interaction with them. Use creative tools. Use different tools appropriately. You have your polls, your charts, your Q&As, different things that you can use to engage your audience online. What platforms am I using? Because each platform has its pros and cons. So what platform do you want to go on? Do you want to go on Zoom? Do you want to have your platform on WhatsApp? Are you on Instagram? Is your tribe on Instagram? Are they on Facebook? Where will you find your tribe? On LinkedIn? You want to be able to be clear on all those questions as you go along. Before you even get on the platform at all, you want to be clear that you are getting on the right platform. So these are just some of the questions that you need to answer to be able to give your best, to be able to provide value, to be able to impact your audience powerfully when you are going to give a presentation online. And so we say that making effective presentations has become a must-have skill. It's not something we're going to dilly-dally on. We really have to set it up in a way that we are giving the best and we are making sure that the audience is, receiving the value that they require as well. Guess what? Whether you are selling, whether you're interviewing, whether you are defending a proposal with a client, with a customer, whatever it is, whether you are facilitating, you are coaching, for my coaches out there, whether you are, a speaker, you need to be able to do this effectively. You need to be able to present, to be as professional as required, because each of those platforms will require a different aspect of you. If you go on Instagram, you can be a lot more informal than if you go on LinkedIn. So all of that has to be very clear in your mind when you are going there. We've seen, presenters sometimes who are very good on LinkedIn, on Instagram, but when they come to a more formal presentation, it's a bit tricky because they haven't really profiled the audience. They haven't really profiled who they are talking to. So we want to make sure that all of that is taken care of. Now, remember I said that I have an offer for you. I'm going to be going into that shortly. because we give you all of this. This is really just a teeny weeny tip of the iceberg. So I'm going to be taking you into what we'd like to do, what we want to offer you, and we're really excited about this offer because we believe that to stay relevant as a professional, we need to be able to make this transition. You know, this is a program we run severally. This is a program we run severally, and we see the gaps, and we thought, you know what, it's really time to bring this offer to the market. So even though we've run this program tons and tons of times with our clients as implants, this is really the first time we are opening it up to the public, and I'm very excited about that. So you can really think of yourselves as the how do you say, the pilot for this, because this is something that we've always run in-house implant specifically for our clients. So this is going to be quite interesting. It's going to be exciting. So let me pause here and ask Shehu, do we have any questions in the chat so far?
All right, thank you, Tutu, for a great session. There's just one question. Someone is asking if they are going to get the videos after the session. You already have that. It's online after the session. So that answers that question. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, the same question. Can we have this recording after
Okay.
now? These are the questions we have for now. I'm still taking some. I think some may be coming in shortly. So I'll just let you run while I get that.
Great. All righty. Thank you, Shehu. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm going to share with you the program outline. To be able to, you know, present virtually, effectively, like a virtuoso, you know, we're going to take you through a deeply immersive experience. We start off with an impromptu presentation. So what does that mean? It means when you come on the program, the very first thing you're going to be doing is giving a presentation. Our programs are very hands-on. You're going to be doing a lot of work. You're going to be, you know, really digging deep to find that part of you that is the master presenter, because that person is there. There are so many times you've done things, you've presented. You know, there's a book. It's called what's the name of that book again? We are all in sales. We are all always selling something. It just depends on whether you are aware of it or not, whether it's important to you or not, you know. Because people say to me, oh, Tutu, I'm afraid. How will I do it? When you believe in something deeply, honestly, that fear falls away. And that is what we do. That is the process we take you through on this program. By the time we are done, that fear has nowhere to stay. You know, you are able to channel that fear, and you are channeling it so well that it becomes fuel for you to be able to give a fantastic presentation. So we kick off with an impromptu presentation for each and every person who comes on the program. And then we take you to making impactful introductions. How do you introduce yourself? You know, such that you are memorable, people remember you. There's a lot of noise today, a lot of noise, and even online, it's amplified even more. So how can you introduce yourself in a way that you are memorable and you can stand out from the pack? We'll take you through the psychology of presentations. How does it work? How are you able to build on your presentation from A to B to Z, such that you're actually helping people, you know, you're gaining the little yeses, yeses, yeses up until the end of your presentation? How are you able to do that? How do you present such that there's no cognitive dissonance, where people are buying into everything you are saying, because you've crafted it in such a way that, you know, they have no choice but to really go along with you on the ride? We'll take you through building your deck. You know, building your presentation deck. It's not just slapping the slides together. It's not just gathering the material and dumping it there. There's a science, there's an art, there's a method to the madness. How are you able to do that? We're going to take you through that. We'll take you through effective slide design, the colors, the contrast. What is it exactly you want to say? and which pictures, which graphics are going to help you say the most. You remember that saying, the right picture. You know, people say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and we've modified it a little bit. The right picture is worth 1,000 words, 10,000 words, because it communicates what you want to say immediately, succinctly, with laser-like focus. You won't need to do too much talking. Engaging your audience online. How do you sit? How do you stand? How do you move? You know, how does body language translate online? Your tone, you know, your voice, all of that. How are you able to do that? We have a mini assessment center because at the end of the program, it's a 3-day immersive program. At the end of that program, you are going to be given a presentation, you know, in front of your cohort. So you pick your topic, which you'd have been working on right from day one. And at the end of the program, you're going to be making a presentation to each and every one of us on the program with you. And we're going to be giving you feedback, you know, written feedback that you're going to have, and to serve as, you know, your continuous development as far as presentations are concerned. Because it's not a one and done, really. Yes, we are going to make sure that everyone gets on the absolute right path where they can only continue to develop. But then you also have to keep looking for those opportunities to present. And trust me, they are there. They are there. There will be no lack of opportunities to present as long as you are willing to seize the bull by the horns. Strategies for overcoming nervousness. How will you make your butterflies fly information? The butterflies are there, but how do they fly information? We'll take you through the techniques for that. Body language with a virtual audience, we'll look at that as well. We've talked about this already, using your different channels for your presentation. Tools and templates, we'll provide you with tools and templates. You know, how do you build your presentation? All that we mentioned at the beginning, your audience, your profile, your topic, you will have the templates to use to be able to build all that. So that by the time you go through that exercise, it's clear to you, your presentation is already, you know, 50% done before you even start building any slide. And of course, your live presentation. Yes? Who is this program for? I make bold to say it's for everyone. All of us need to be able to do this now. So thought leaders and subject matter experts, supervisors, managers, executives, board members, we are all making presentations. We are all selling. We are all, you know, inspiring our teams. Salespeople making their sales or pre-sales presentation, facilitators and trainers, you know, people in HR, people in accounting, whatever field you find yourself in, I challenge you to come up with one reason why you need to be good at making presentations virtually and being able to master it, being able to give the kind of presentation where everybody is saying, wow, that was a fantastic presentation, well done. You know, there's a saying, I think it's Alvin Toffler. He says the literates of the 21st century are not those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. And that is a challenge for each and every one of us today. We need to be able to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Yes? So, at the end of the program, of our 3-day intensive presentation skills program, which is really one of our flagship programs, you're going to be receiving, you receive a certificate of attendance, and trust me, a certificate, because we don't just hand it out. Not everyone gets that certificate. There's a lot to be done before you get it. So it starts off with your hugely immersive experience, where you kick off with your own impromptu presentation. It's always a lot of fun, trust me. You deliver a live presentation, you get your certificate. We're going to be giving you group coaching, you know, on that program, where we are taking you through what are the issues, walking you through developing those amazing slides. And because this is such a high contact program, we have room for only 25 slots. So it's going to be on a first come, first served basis. It's really highly intensive. there's a lot of, hand holding that goes on. So it's not one of those programs where we can take 100 people or anything like that. It's going to be very, very limited. So we can create that safe and brave space where we're going to be asking you to really challenge yourself to come out of your comfort zone. We're going to be challenging you to make presentations. And so we really have room for just 25 people. So it's going to be really on a first come, first serve basis.
Tutu,
When
I
we
have
go through this,
questions. Would you like to take them?
okay, let me take them now. Thank you, Shehu.
All right. Someone said, and I'll just bring that up quickly.
Sure.
He said that everyone needs an energy boosting activity every now and then. How do I include an icebreaker that fits an unknown audience
Hmm.
in an online presentation?
Okay. In an online presentation,
Yeah.
we said you have to profile your audience. So you can't go into a room blind. Really and truly, you can't afford to go into a room blind. So before you make a presentation, you know who you are presenting to. Are they salespeople? Are they accountants? Are they HR executives? Are they millennials? Who are they? Who are these people you want to present to? So
Okay.
even if you don't know them specifically, you don't know that, oh, Tutu is in there, Shegu is there, Tola is there, Chidi is there, but you know this crowd. And
Okay.
so as a presenter who really wants to be impactful, you need to be able to research that crowd and decide what is the best, icebreaker, because different icebreakers, different energizers will work for different people. And that's also something that we're going to be taking you on this program. How do you even build your own icebreakers? So that's a great question. Thank you for asking that.
Thank you, Tutu. I have another question here. Technology
Okay.
can sometimes throw you a curveball during your presentation. How do I handle that professionally? This is the technology issue.
Okay. So depending on what technology you are talking about, technology is mechanics. So you really, we as a people, I don't think anyone is better than us in preparing for technology. So for everyone, I'm sure you've seen 10, 20, 100 webinars since the lockdown began till now. Guess what? Each of those people have been on quite a number. They started experiencing problems with one internet provider, they immediately switch. So you can't afford to have just one internet provider. You must have like two or three. Maybe one finishes, you're able to switch. Maybe one starts messing up, you're able to switch to the other. You have NEPA, you have your inverter. So if you're lucky, it switches automatically. And so there's no loss of power. For some people, what they do is as they're about to go live, they switch on the gen, they go off NEPA. So there are ways, it's just for us to think around all those things. There are always ways to alleviate, to hedge against all those technology snafus, as we call them. Any other question, Shehu? Any other questions?
Yes, someone has a question. That's the last question I have here. He said,
Okay.
I've been presenting live on Facebook, but during this lockdown, I had to make a presentation to my ED. Though I thought it will go well, but it was woeful on Zoom. Is this about the platform I used?
Um, I honestly wouldn't be able to answer that without a bit more information.
Okay.
But this is something that we will address. So just hang in there with me. Let me finish this and then we'll take a few more questions.
All right.
Yeah. So I ended saying we have room for 25 slots for a high touch, very immersive, intensive experience. And why should you go through this program? You will build your confidence. I'm not going to build it for you. You will build it because you are the one doing the work. You are the one going through the process. You are the one going outside of your comfort zone. So that by the time you're done, you've exercised those muscles, those going outside of my comfort zone muscles. You've exercised those muscles of speaking up when it's not comfortable. So you are well on the way to building your confidence. You will be able to identify your hook for your presentation. What is that thing that when you lead with it, your audience has no choice but to sit up and listen to you? Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that? Whether you're a principal, whether you're a teacher, these days all our children are at home learning online. Those teachers must be able to hook them, keep them engaged. Whether you're a team leader who's, meeting with your team on Zoom or on Teams or anything, you need to be able to have that hook to keep everyone engaged. You want to be able to know your audience and speak to their needs. You want to be able to engage your audience and lead them where you want to go. You want to be clear on your objectives, because everything rises and falls on the objectives. Yes? And so really and truly, these are the reasons why you want to be part of this program. Now, what we've done something really interesting, and let me share with you. The first 5 people who sign up for this program, we're going to build your next presentation for you. So after you go through our 3-day immersion experience, the next presentation you have to give. So for the gentleman or lady who said, oh, I gave a presentation before my ED, didn't go so well, whatever presentation you are going to give, whether at work or in some other organization, maybe a volunteer organization you work with, bring that presentation to us. We'll work with you on it, and we will even, take you through a presentation with us so that you have a dry run, you can practice, you can feel confident before you go and give that presentation live. So this bonus is for the first 5 people who sign on for this program. The other thing we also have is that you're going to get a 30-minute one-on-one laser coaching session with me, on your presentation skills, whichever aspect of the presentation you want. So Shehu and I, we're going to take you through a laser coaching session on your presentation. This is for the first 10 people. So what am I doing? I'm really incentivizing you to, jump in, take action. Guess what? Leaders take their decisions quickly. I've taken you through the presentation. I'm sharing the bonuses with you. I've shared with you what's the outline and what's the outcome. So right now you have all the information that you need. So let me tell you, this is not a new program. We've run it. I don't know how many thousands of people have gone through it. So it's a program that we sold, and we've sold it at this price point, even more. But you're not going to be paying 147,000 naira today. That's not what you're going to be paying today. You're not even going to be paying 100,000 naira today. You're not even paying 80,000. Guess what? You remember I said this was the first time we were opening this up to the public? And so you are like the pilot people who are going to jump in. So for that reason, we're making it as easy as possible for you to jump in. We want to remove all the barriers. 150, oh wow, I need time, I want to. No, we want to remove all the barriers for that. We want to make it a no-brainer for you. We want you to be able to, say, hey, what am I waiting for? This is a fantastic opportunity. I'm going to get my next presentation reviewed by Tutu and her team. For the first 5 people who join, I'm going to have a laser coaching session for 30 minutes for the first 10 people who join. I'm going to get to build my confidence, to identify my hook, to clarify my objectives, and I'm also going to add something. After the program, we're going to have a follow-on coaching session, maybe about a month or 2 down the line. We'll send out the details when we work it out. We'll bring everyone back and we'll do maybe a 2 3 hour coaching session. How has it been going? What were your snags? You know, what have you been bumping up against? And mind you, even after your presentation, you can still reach out to us to say, hey, you know what? I have this presentation coming up. What can I do? What should be the title and all of that? You can still do that. You have access to the team to be able to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are making this as easy peasy as possible. We've given a massive discount. And so instead of paying 147,000 naira, you are going to be paying 49,980. It's a no-brainer. It has never
Wow.
happened before. It will never happen again. This price will not be coming back. So I really want to encourage each and every one of you on the call now to really jump in and give yourselves the chance to master presentation, to master that skill of presentation. Because guess what? You are always presenting. You are always presenting. Even when you think, oh, I'm just on a phone call, oh, I'm just talking to my boss. For those of us who are married or who are dating, oh, I'm just talking with my spouse or my significant other, oh, I'm just talking to my kid. You are always presenting. And so you really want to learn the navigation. You want to be able to navigate that, you know, that psychological landscape of how do I lead people from point A to point B? How do I present in a way that it makes it easy for them to see my point of view and to buy into my point of view? How can I convince the team that this is the right way to go? So we're making this a real no-brainer. So the link is on. Cheku is going to pop the link into the chat as well.
The link is scrolling on the screen at the moment, so we can.
Oh, fantastic. Can they click on it, you know, anywhere so that they can immediately go on the page?
So I'll just put it in the chat so people can
Yes,
as well access it from there.
absolutely. Please pop it in the chat.
Okay.
Pop it in the chat. And now, if there are any other questions, I am here.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for this wonderful offer. I hope we are going to take advantage of it and get ourselves up. Matter of fact, this is the period to develop yourself. In the market pickup, a lot of people, it is only the skilled that will be able to catch up. So if we do not acquire the right skills now, that the everyone to, you have final words.
Shehu, you are fading in and out. There's something wrong with your audio.
Okay, sorry
It's
about
a
that.
bit choppy, yes. Okay, it's better now.
Okay, it's better now. Okay, that's fine.
Yes,
All right.
fantastic.
Yes. Yeah. What I was saying was, it is important that we develop ourselves in times like this. When the economy globally picks up, it may just be too late. So it is key that at this period, we are able to navigate and ensure that we upskill ourselves in areas that we need to. One of those areas is making presentation virtually. And this is a great opportunity to thank you very much for this offer that you have given. We just believe that people will jump at it. The link is on the chat, so we can always access that. Thank you very much.
Awesome. You know, let me say quickly that if not now, when? If not now, when? When are you going to invest in yourself? Because that's what we are inviting you to do, to invest in your own self, to invest in your own development, to work with a team that is passionate about this topic, that will help you really come out of your head and learn the skills to be able to dominate when it comes to presenting. You know, like I said at the beginning, we've run this over and over and over and over and over again. So this is not a crude that is testing out the waters or anything. No, this is a crew that has, we've seen, we've come, we've seen, we've conquered when it comes to this, and we're able to lead our clients, our customers through that path of growing in this area. So, like I said, we really, really, really want to make this a no-brainer. We really want to make sure that there are no barriers to, to entry. It's going to run for 3 days, like we said, 3 intensive days. So if you do come on this, please make sure you block out time. It's not something you are going to be able to do, while you are trying to work on the side, or you are trying to attend to something on the side. It's 3 full days, of drinking through, a hose, as it were. But at the end, you are going to see it's going to be like night and day from where you were when you started to where you were. And the other thing we do is we're going to record each and every one of you. I don't think I mentioned that earlier. We are going to record you. You get a recording of your presentation, all your presentations, your impromptu, which is always fun, and your final presentation. So even you will be able to see what it was like when I started and when I finished. So ladies and gentlemen, I do invite you to jump on this offer. Like I said, this is the lowest it will ever be. It will not come at this price point again, because this is really the first time we are offering it as an open training. We've always only ever done this as an implant. So this is the first time we are making it a virtual training, and that's why we said, you know what, we don't want to be tone deaf with everything that's going on. Let's make this a no-brainer. Let's make this something that people really see as a value add to them, because that's really the best investment you will ever make. Investing in yourself. Investing in yourself. That's really what we are inviting you to do here. So do please put on your dancing shoes, come party with us, come ride with us, come play with us. And it will be a ton of fun, even as you're adding value, even as you're learning and growing. Because that's when we are at our happiest, isn't it? When we are learning and growing. So I really want to invite each and every one of you on the call to click that button. This is your call to action. Click that button, get on the page, make the payment, and we will see you in our virtual training room. Thank you so, so much. If there are no other questions at this time, then I'd love to release everyone so we can go back to our day. Shehu, are there any other questions at this time?
Very much, Tutu. There are no questions at the moment. And once again, I appreciate you, partners, for this offer. And we hope that we are going to see everyone in class from 28th to 30th.
30th.
All right, so thank you for this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We hope to see you on the 28th. Have a great day.